Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, dear handball friends, it is a great pleasure to welcome you all to Copenhagen for this first official event that celebrates the Women's EHF Euro 2020 in Norway and Denmark. The final tournament takes place between the 4th and 20th of December in 2020, and this is the draw of the EHF Euro Qualifiers Phase 2, precisely 625 days prior to the first match of the final tournament. My name is Ulla Essendrup, and I'm delighted to be your host for this qualifiers draw. Thank you so much for joining us here in Copenhagen today. We sincerely hope you'll enjoy today's program. Also, I'd like to extend a special welcome to the President of the European Handball Federation, Michael Widerer, the EHF Secretary General, Martin Hausleitner, the President of the Danish Handball Association, Per Bertelsen, and the President of the Norwegian Handball Federation, Kåre Leo. And now I have the pleasure of introducing the President of the Danish Handball Association to the stage for his welcoming words. Please give Per Bertelsen a big applause.
Thank you, Ulla. Mr. President, dear Secretary Generals, dear players and coaches, dear handball friends. Tonight marks the beginning of the road to the 2020 Women's EHF Euro, when we pair the teams of the 7 qualifications groups. The championship is a repetition of the 2010 Women's EHF Euro, which was the first ever European Championships hosted by 2 countries. I would like to thank my good friend, President in the Norwegian Federation, Kåre, and the entire Norwegian Handball Federation for joining forces with us in this, the 7th major championship hosted by one of or both countries since 1993. History has shown that both Norwegians and Danes love to watch handball, and every one of the 6 previous championships had sold out venues with thousands and thousands of Danes and Norwegians in the stands for every game. We expect the same for the coming championship, sold out arenas in both Denmark and Norway. Today, however, it's not about the final tournament, but the qualification tournament. And great nations are in the pot for the draw. I am especially excited to see our fellow Nordic friends from the Faroe Islands and Iceland compete for a spot in the 2020 Women EHF Euro. A warm welcome to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Per Bertelsen. And now I'm pleased to pass the floor to the President of the Norwegian Handball Federation, Kåre Leo.
I have to say I love this music. Dear handball friends, dear Mr. President, dear hard-working General Secretaries, I think you've been working hard for at least 2 days now, haven't you? That's good. I have to say, dear friends, dear mates in the Danish Handball Federation. And I have to say, thank you Denmark and thank you Germany for fantastic days, fantastic moments in January when we were there in the World Cup for men. It was a magnificent performance in organizing and leadership. Thank you very, very much. It's a great honor once again to get the opportunity to host the EHF Championship for Women in December 2020, together with Denmark, with whom we always have cooperated extremely well, at least until the men's final in Herning in January. We want this championship to be an irresistible temptation of an event for the steadily growing handball family, locally and all over Europe. We want to contribute to more interest, more likes, more love, more enthusiasm. Our goal is that this Euro 2020 will present handball from its best side ever. Excellent players, exciting matches, arenas crowded with beautiful handball fans in all colors, everything in beautiful pre-Christmas surroundings in Trondheim, in Stavanger, and in Oslo. We welcome you all. And I have to say, Santa Claus, I'm sorry Finland, Santa Claus is from Norway. Welcome everybody, thank you.
I'm not exactly sure Greenland agrees with you on that, but that's another story. But thank you for...
I have to talk to you afterwards.
Okay, we'll take that bilaterally. Okay, thank you so much for that. And now I have the pleasure of inviting the president of the EHF to the stage, Mikael Widerer.
Dear handball friends, ladies and gentlemen, all the handball enthusiasts who are present here today and who are watching us on TV. It's really a pleasure to represent the European Handball Federation on the occasion of this draw, the draw for the 14th Women's Euro qualification phase. And we are really looking forward to that. I also think that going to Norway and to Denmark, and thank you for the inspiring words of the two presidents, is really the right place for women's handball. Both nations and their handball players have really contributed to the development of our sport. And so we are looking forward also to excellent championships. Overall, the Euros are supposed to be a top event. This is not only the opinion of handball fans, this is the overall opinion of the marketing people that Women's Handball Euros are the top event in European team sport. And this is proven not only by the results of the latest Euro in France, it is also proven by the figures of television and the marketing potential. I think that we are therefore at the right place and we are really looking forward to an excellent championship. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's not necessary to motivate the participants to this qualification. It will be an excellent tournament, but it will also be a big responsibility for the organizers and the EHF to host such a great event. We are looking forward to the results of the draw, and we are looking forward by that to the first step on the road to the Euro 2020 in Norway and Denmark. Thank you.
Thank you, Mikael Widerer. And now, before we proceed to the explanation of the technical procedures of the draw, we have another highlight for you, because now we're excited to present you to the host cities and venues of the Women's EHF Euro 2020 in Norway and Denmark. So, let's have a look. Yes, spectacular views of those beautiful host cities, right? Right. And now, to give us all a taste of fine Danish culture and music, I have the pleasure of introducing another show act that's making its entrance as we speak. You see, just like the players of the Women's Euro 2020, these girls are striving for perfection in their teamwork, and they're working and practicing so hard to be among the best. And they just returned from a concert tour in California, so they're at their absolute sharpest right now. So please, ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to the girls of the Copenhagen Girls Choir, conducted by Mads Bakke Lange.
It
Thank you so much, Copenhagen Girls Choir. That was absolutely beautiful. And while the girls leave the stage, I'll explain the technical procedures of today's draw. The technical supervision of today's draw is with Peter Sichelsmith, who's senior manager of the national team competition of the EHF. Now, the EHF Euro 2020 will be the 14th edition of the Women's European Championships. Apart from the organizing countries Norway and Denmark, 31 national teams have registered to take part in different phases of the EHF Euro qualifiers, ultimately to fight for the championship plate. Now, just to remind you, the two organizing countries, Denmark and Norway, have automatically qualified for the final tournament. The second phase will feature a total of 28 teams drawn into 7 groups of 4 teams. 27 out of the 31 teams have qualified for the second phase based on the final result of the previous EHF Euro and the results of the qualification of the EHF Euro 2018. The remaining team will qualify for the second phase via Qualifiers Phase 1. Now, out of the qualifiers groups, the first and second ranked teams will qualify for the final tournament. This second phase of the qualifiers will take place over 3 different periods and 6 rounds. Round 1 and 2 takes place between 25th and 29th of September in 2019. Rounds 3 and 4 take place between the 25th and 29th of March in 2020, and rounds 5 and 6 will take place between the 27th and 31st of May in 2020. Now, for today's draw, the teams have been divided into 4 pots according to their current EHF Women's National Team rankings, and the teams are in the red balls. Now, please be aware that the winner of the Qualifiers Phase 1 is not known yet and will therefore be drawn as winner of Q Phase 1. In addition, I'd like to inform you that Serbia and Kosovo cannot be drawn into the same qualification group, and therefore the groups of the teams in Pot 2 will be added after the drawing of Pot 4 and the group of Kosovo is known. Also, Serbia will be drawn first from the teams in Pot 2, and therefore, to make sure that actually happens, Serbia has been placed in a yellow ball. Now, the draw will begin with the drawing of Pot 4, followed by Pot 3, obviously Pot 2, and then 1. Right, everybody follow so far? Okay, so let's have a look at the pots of today's draw. Pot 1 features France, Netherlands, Russia, Sweden, Romania, Montenegro, and Germany. Pot 2 features Serbia, Czech Republic, Hungary, Spain, Slovenia, Poland, and Croatia. Pot 3 features Austria, Belarus, Slovakia, Turkey, Macedonia, Ukraine, and Italy. And finally, pot 4 features Switzerland, Iceland, Portugal, Lithuania, Faroe Islands, Kosovo, and the winner of Q Phase 1. Okay, that was a lot of information, I know, but it will all make sense in a short while. But before we dive into the draw, let's just have a look at some of the latest highlights of European handball, just to get a sense of all the thrills and excitement we have in store for us. Please enjoy. Powerful. Right, so let's go to the draw. At this point, I'm pleased to invite a special guest, the president of the Danish National Olympic Committee, Niels Nygaard. If you would please join us on stage to assist with the draw, please give him a big applause. Also, to assist with the draw, Martin Hausleitner, Secretary General of the EHF. Hi, Niels. Hi. And as the draw progresses, 4 different players will assist us with the draw. And at this point, I'm pleased to welcome Debbie Bond from the Netherlands to the stage. Hi, Debbie. Hi. So you have been playing for Copenhagen Handball since 2015. So can you tell us what it's like to play in front of the Danish crowds?
I really like it. They love the sport, so every game there's a great atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. And you were part of the team that won the bronze medals at the Euro in 2018. So do you already have a goal in mind for the Euro 2020?
Well, first we have to reach it, of course. But if we do, we go after gold.
Of course.
Yes.
What else? Thank you so much. Right, so Debbie, if you can stand here, please. Just to recap the teams of Pot 4, we have Switzerland, Iceland, Portugal, Lithuania, Faroe Islands, Kosovo, and the winner of Q1. First, we will draw the teams from the red ball, and Debbie, that will be your task. And then Niels Nygaard will draw the groups of the blue balls, right? So, Debbie, you may begin.
Iceland.
Yes.
To Group 6.
Right, so that puts Iceland in group 6. Debbie?
Winner of qualification phase 1.
Nils?
To group 1.
Okay, so the winner of Q phase 1 goes to group 1.
It is Portugal. To group 5.
So Portugal enters group 5.
Faroe Island. Goes to group 7.
Faroe Islands is placed in group 7. Good thing it's not basketball.
Lithuania. Goes to group 2.
We're sending Lithuania to group 2.
Kosovo.
Kosovo?
Goes to group 3.
Kosovo is placed in group 3.
Switzerland. Goes to group 4.
Switzerland in group 4, and that concludes this part of the draw. Thank you so much, Debbie. And let's just recap row 4. The winner of Q phase 1 goes to group 1, Lithuania in group 2, Kosovo in group 3, Switzerland in group 4, Portugal in group 5, Iceland in group 6, and Faroe Islands in group 7. So now for the next step, I'm glad to welcome Lynn Blom from Sweden to the stage. Please give her a big applause. So Lynn, you're also used to playing in front of Danish crowds. So assuming that Sweden qualifies for the Euros, would you prefer to play in Denmark or in Norway?
Oh, it's a very hard question, I think. I don't have an answer like that.
But also, yeah, because ultimately it's about giving everything you've got no matter where you play, right?
Yeah, of course.
And giving your fans a good experience.
Yeah, of course.
Right, so let's begin the draw. As before, you will draw the teams from the red ball, so you can begin.
Thank you. Austria. Goes to group 1.
Austria in group 1.
Belarus. Goes to group 3.
Belarus to group 3.
Turkey. goes to group 6.
Turkey enters group 6.
North Macedonia. Goes to group 5.
Macedonia joins group 5.
Ukraine. Goes to group 7.
Ukraine in group 7.
Slovakia. Goes to group 4.
Slovakia is in group 4.
Italy. Goes to group 2.
And finally, Italy goes to group 2. And with that, thank you so much, Lynn Blum. And now for the 7 teams in pot 2, and just to remind you, Serbia and Kosovo cannot be drawn into the same group, so Serbia will be drawn first, and to make sure that happens, we have placed Serbia in the yellow ball. And after drawing the group of Serbia, the missing group of Kosovo will be added, and we can continue in a regular way. So at this point, let's all welcome Sanna Solberg from Norway. So, Sanna, some years ago, Norway was this superpower in international handball. You ruled everything. So, what are your hopes for this upcoming Euros?
Oh, of course, we always play to be on the top, and we want to have a medal. So, we want to come back where we were. So, yes, that's what we train for every day.
And the Euros 2020 on home ground could be a fantastic occasion for that. What would it mean for you to play the Euros on home ground?
Well, I never tried it before, but I think it will be really fun. And yeah, with a home audience, it will be great.
I'm sure it will. Thank you. And now we proceed with the draws of row 2. So first we draw Serbia, which is on in the yellow ball, so please. Fingers crossed.
Serbia. Goes to group 4.
Serbia goes to group 4. Yes, and now we can add the missing blue ball. Sorted. And now the next team.
Hungary. Goes to group 2.
Hungary joins group 2.
Poland. Goes to group 7.
Poland goes to group 7.
Slovenia. goes to Group 3.
Slovenia in Group 3.
Croatia. Goes to Group 6.
Placing Croatia in Group 6.
Czech Republic. Goes to Group 5.
Czech Republic joins Group 5. So the last team in pot 2.
Spain. Goes to Group 1.
And finally, Spain joins Group 1. Thank you so much for your assistance, Sandra Solberg. Recapping row 2 means that Spain goes to Group 1, Hungary Group 2, Slovenia Group 3, Serbia Group 4, Czech Republic Group 5, Croatia to Group 6, and Poland in Group 7. And now for the final parts. And for this, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Denmark, Sandra Toft. Sandra, you have already had the feeling of playing a major tournament on home ground that was in 2015 for the World Championships. So tell us what that's like playing on home ground.
No, it's amazing. I think, I know every handball player wants to try to play a championship in your own country. It was spectacular with so many people in the arena.
Yeah, so are you already imagining playing in front of 15,000 handball-loving fans again in 2020?
Yeah, for sure, I can imagine me doing that, so I hope I'm going to do it.
We'll see what happens. Thank you. Yes, you may begin.
France. Goes to Group 6.
France in Group 6.
The Netherlands. Goes to Group 1.
The Netherlands joins Group 1.
Romania. Goes to Group 7.
Romania completes Group 7.
Montenegro. Goes to Group 2.
Montenegro takes the final spot in Group 2.
Russia. Goes to Group number 4.
Russia closes Group 4.
Germany. goes to Group 3.
Germany completes Group 3, and let's see what happens now.
Sweden goes to Group 5.
Fantastic. Sweden completes Group 5. And that, ladies and gentlemen, completes the draw. Thank you so much, Sandra Toft. Thank you, Niels Nygaard, and thank you, Martin Hausleitner. Let's just recap the table. Group 1 consists of Netherlands, Spain, Austria, and the winner of Q1. Group 2 consists of Montenegro, Hungary, Italy, Lithuania. Group 3 holds Germany, Slovenia, Belarus, and Kosovo. Group 4 holds Russia, Serbia, Slovakia, and Switzerland, while Group 4 consists of Sweden, Czech Republic, Macedonia, and Portugal. Group 6 is France, Croatia, Turkey, and Iceland, and Group 7 is Romania, Poland, Ukraine, and Faroe Islands. Best of luck to all the teams. Now, we're not done quite yet because we have one more important task to carry out here on stage, and for that I welcome back Mikkel Videre and the president of the Danish Handball Association, Per Bertelsen, and Kia Otnes, the managing director of the Norwegian Organizing Committee representing Norway, because now it is time for the handover of the official championship plate. Thank you for that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's draw. The result is now available and will be handed out to all guests. Now, to keep up to date with the latest news, you can refer to the website EHF-EURO.com or the official webpage for the latest information. Now, if you have been approached by the EHF media team for interviews on your reactions to the draw, please remain in this room as they will conduct the interviews by the interview wall very shortly. Okay, that's all from me. All that's left to say is thank you so much again for joining and enjoy your evening in Copenhagen.